Hello and welcome to the Naked Parent Podcast. My name's Chad Ratliff. I'm your host, and today we have Kari Olea with us, who is the mother of three. Is that
Yep,
correct?
yep, three boys.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
How are you today? How's your day going so far?
We're doing good here.
Yeah, so you
Yep.
have three boys. What are the ages?
8, 4, and 3.
8, 4, and 3. And which child is on the spectrum?
My oldest son, Julian.
Okay, and um, when did you see the first sign that something was maybe different?
Probably when he was about 9 months, when tried to feed him table food, because like he had issues eating, like he would spit it out and gag and stuff, and because when he was a baby, his autism signs were very noticeable. Because when he was 3, he was diagnosed, with, severe autism, but when he was 3 years old, by CVRC, but when he was in ABA for 3, 4, 5, 6, like 4 years, but he graduated in October from ABA. But, when he first started ABA, he was really severe autistic, like, he didn't talk at all. He's still mentally verbal, but, he does talk when he needs to talk. But no,
Awesome.
he feeds himself now, he's toilet trained, but we have to take him, but he does everything mostly by himself.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
Not with it took a lot of effort, I imagine.
a lot.
A
I think
lot,
we potty trained him, like, 4 times, 4 different times, and
really.
finally it clicked with him, and he started going. He's in underwear now, so
Wow, that's awesome.
yep.
That's awesome. So you said that um, he had very noticeable characteristics when he was young. Is that
Yeah, he would wave his hands in front of his face, in front of his eyes. He would spin around in circles. He would gag on all different food textures. Like it was probably the texture for him that he didn't like. So he used to just eat like soft foods.
did he ever do any regurgitation, like
Yeah,
bringing the food back up?
yeah, he would do that. Yeah.
Does he still do that?
No, he outgrew it, but he's still picky eater. But he eats pretty well now. Just
And you
certain
said he
foods.
outgrew it, so you feel it was just something that he had to go through. My son currently
Yeah.
is doing that, and we try
Yeah,
different things.
he did that for a while though. But on soft foods, he wouldn't gag. It was just food with texture. So like pasta, he would gag. So he had to eat soft food or drink Pediasure for a really long time.
Wow. So
Mhm.
if we give my son something that like has sugar taste or something that he likes,
Mhm.
he'll like a yogurt or something. He'll keep bringing it back up, and we it's really challenging
Oh, that's
because
hard.
his siblings don't want to be around it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, but you made it through that one too as well.
That was hard. That was a hard like 2 years. I think he did that for 2 years.
So how have you like you've been raising children for about 8 years now
Mhm.
with some very challenging scenarios. How have you been dealing with that personally?
Um, it's been challenging, but, I like, for services, I've found all the services on my own because, I live in a small town, and there's not really any services here. So, I've been doing my own research, and, I created a Facebook group on Facebook, and I have about over 3,000 members on it, so we kind of chat about services and IEPs and stuff like that.
That's
Try to help
awesome.
each other out because there's no well, it used to be a local group, but now it's like a worldwide group because I don't know, people just started
Awesome.
learning it, but, yeah, we help each other out and stuff with services, and I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure what your goals are, but if you want that group to be available, we could put the link in the show notes if you're interested. You can just let me know
Yeah,
after the show.
okay, that sounds good. 'Cause, but I didn't think that group would get as big as it did, so, like, cause it used to be, like, a 200 people group, so, like and then people kept asking to join, so that's kind of fun to see, different people from around the world with autism.
Shows how much
Yeah,
these conversations are needed. People are
yeah.
searching. And so, what was one of the big aha moments that you've had along the way thus far?
Um, mm, um, I wrote it down.
Or something that stands out that like really made a positive impact once you figured it out?
Oh, I think that doing your own research, like, for services wise, because like, for a long time, I would ask, like, for help, and I wasn't getting anywhere. Because like, for speech, I've been trying to get him speech for, like, 6 years, and he barely has an evaluation on the 21st. So, like,
It's a long
he
time.
hasn't had speech at all because we're in Exeter, and, there's only, like, one place that takes his insurance, and then the insurance didn't wanna cover it, so we had to jump through all these hoops to get them to cover speech therapy for him because he is minimally verbal, but, they had to, like we had to go all the way to, Fresno to get his hearing tested and wait for that result and all that. So, yeah,
Well,
just
he's
so
lucky to have a mom who's so diligent. You sound like you stay with it and stay the course. That's
Yep. You have to, keep on checking in and keep on calling, or if not, you'll be on the wait list for a really long time.
so. I hope everybody in Naked Parent Nation hears that because
Yeah,
it's so easy to get kind of pushed off
you
the
gotta be
course, and you
persistent
got to
and
stick with it,
keep
stay
on
with
doing
it.
it. Yep. Keep on
Because
calling,
you've already
bugging them.
shared in the first 5 minutes of our conversation, you've shared so many great success stories from
Mhm.
sticking with the potty training, even though it took 4 different occasions,
Yeah,
the
we took
speech.
breaks and we you could take breaks and keep reintroducing it. I think that's the best thing that worked for us. Because
And
even
how
with school, he gets tired of school sometimes. So, like, they would just have him play with Legos or something, and, because he gets bored of the same thing. Because he also has ADHD, so it's hard for him to stay focused.
I see. Um, is there something that you believe to be true that most parents disagree with?
My number 1 okay, well, I have a few, but I think the biggest one is ABA therapy because it's very controversial, and, people say that it's abuse or whatever, but it's not like it's not the type of therapy that they I don't know. It's not like people think it is, because like, some autistic adults think it's abuse, but it really helped him a lot. I think without ABA, he wouldn't be talking at all. Because I
Wow,
would work with him too, but he just wouldn't talk, he wouldn't feed himself, he wasn't potty trained. He still needs help dressing, but he picks his clothes now, like, he has opinions on things, and
that's awesome.
before he just didn't care to talk, he didn't care to he just needed a lot of help. He still does, but he's more becoming more independent.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And I'm glad you shared the controversialness. I just suggest to any parent to try it out,
Yeah, well,
try as many things as you can.
you can try it and you can quit or find something
Yeah.
that works for your kids.
But it
Yep.
sounds like it's made a huge positive impact in your
Yeah, because he started it when he was really young, so I think that's what helped him a lot.
that's
Because
awesome.
yeah, because he started when he was barely 3.
And then are you doing any personal development that's having a positive impact on you and your family as you raise these children?
Mm, just my Facebook group, but I mean, not really.
Do you ever think that you should spend more time taking care of yourself for
Yes,
because
but
you spend so much time on your kids?
yeah, I do need me time, but I'm really busy, and with my kids have a lot of well, Julian has a lot of appointments and IEPs and doctors and dentists, and it's a lot.
It's a
And
lot to
I
balance.
have 2 toddlers too, and, my oldest is autistic, so yeah, it's kind of but I have a great husband, so he helps me out a lot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And are there any like products or services that you use um, for your son's well-being or
I
that's
have.
having a positive impact?
If you're in California, there's a program called In-Home Services. I don't know if you heard of it.
In
Um,
home IHSS?
yeah, that I didn't know about that program until Julian was 4, and he was approved because he's still hyper. He still climbs on stuff, and but he needs 24-hour supervision because he'll just take off. But it's helped a lot because I wouldn't be able to hold a real job with Julian's doctor's appointments and with him because he tries to climb the fence at school, but they catch him because but if the school wasn't fenced, he would take off. He would wander off and stuff. So that program's helped us a lot too.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. For those that don't know about the program, can you describe it to somebody who might not have heard of it before?
Oh yeah, so basically you apply just like you would any other thing, but it's a program based on your child's needs, and so they come in and evaluate you and your child and see how many hours they get, but you typically they're not approved until they're 4 or older, but it's a long process though because it took my son like 8 months to get approved, but once you're approved, you get back pay and
Yes.
he's had it since he was 4 and he's already 8 now.
Yeah,
But
that's great. So they, for those that don't know about the program, when your child is evaluated and considered to have uh, needs
mhm,
above and beyond, an
a typical
a
child, yeah,
typical child, then you can earn income to stay with your child.
and care for them and take them to appointments and, yep, all that.
Yeah, it's amazing because there's so many increased costs and it's difficult to
A
work.
lot,
So
yeah.
it's in-home supportive services, IHSS. I suggest looking it up online for anybody in California. And thanks for bringing
Yes,
that
that's a
resource
big one, yeah.
onto today's show.
Yep.
Um, so describe a difficult day in your household.
Um,
What does that look like?
the difficult would be like, Julian not wanting to get up for school because sometimes he just likes to lay down and, not wanting to get dressed, but he's kinda stubborn, but we have to bribe him kinda to do stuff, but, he has meltdowns still, mostly when we're out though, like, in stores because it's too loud and, too bright and I don't know. He doesn't like people, so
Does he make audible like noises? Does he get angry? Does he have a lot of stimming behaviors?
he stims a lot in public still. Um, I think we're used to it, so we don't really notice. And I was pointing that out, like, when we record him, he stims a lot, but, like, in person, you if you're around him all the time, you don't we don't notice it anymore because like, we're used to him stimming. It's kinda
So
cool.
he sounds like he has a fairly mild temperament. Am I correct or incorrect on that?
That's correct. He's I don't know, if he doesn't wanna do something though, he's in has a habit of, like, pulling his hair, but we cut his hair short so he doesn't pull it because he still has a hard time communicating.
Hmm.
So, that's one of the biggest reasons why he, melts down is because but he's not interested in using a AAC device because 'cause we've already tried, and because he doesn't really like electronics or TV, so
Oh,
but he's been using PECS, the picture exchange communication system, and, it's been working good for him. He uses it at school too. So, but he does say some words, but his language is probably like half his age, probably like a 3-year-old,
okay.
4-year-old language still, because he says like simple sentences
I think that sounds great to me.
like yeah.
My son, he bites his finger for when he gets frustrated. due to lack of speech, and he has this callus that's like 3 times the size of his finger that's just built up over the years because that's how he kind of gets through his anxiety.
Yeah, my son, he used to, scratch his face, but he doesn't do that as much anymore, so it's just pulling the hair, but we cut his hair short, so he can't really pull it.
Yeah, now what does he do?
Yeah, yeah, so but,
How does he sleep? How's his sleeping?
he still wakes up, but his doctor put him on, clonidine, like 0.5 milligram. So, because I don't know, he's never tried melatonin, but I've heard they had cause nightmares and stuff, but I don't know. But, his medication work because he takes medication during the day too because he's jumping all over the place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's always jumping, always.
My
But
son
yeah,
jumps too.
yeah, he just likes it when he's excited or just because he likes to jump. But, no, he's on medicine and he still wakes up a couple times, but he usually goes back to sleep. But
Okay.
usually he
Yeah.
wakes up at, like, 7 to go to school, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, and what's something that you're excited about with what he's working on now or in the near kind of upcoming future? What's something?
His speech therapy finally, 'cause, we've been fighting for that for a really long time, mostly the insurance, and then there was nobody that would take his insurance over here. So, it's been a long time. Hopefully, they can help him with speech
Yeah, I
since
hope
he's
so.
next
I hope
that's his
so
next.
too.
Yeah.
How did the boys get along together? Do they interact or do they stay separate?
Well, Julian has his own room because I don't know, he likes his own space. He doesn't really like people, but he he plays with his brothers now because he used to play near them, but now he plays with them. He'll play with them.
And how do they feel about him?
Mm, they don't really understand, why he doesn't communicate. Like, they'll ask, "Why aren't you answering?" Or, they'll ask him something and he won't respond. But,
I see.
um, because 'cause they're my middle son's gonna be 5 in March, and my 3-year-old just turned 3, so, um, but Leo, my middle son's starting to understand that he's special needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trip. I mean, I always wonder what my kids think. And recently there was a conversation and one of my daughters said, how's Rocco going to be able to be a dad and have children if he does, if he doesn't do XYZ? And I was like, I was not prepared to have that conversation.
Mhm.
Um, because they're just growing up into the big wide world.
Yeah.
So it's a trip. And so you got 3,000 parents who are collaborating every day and supporting one another. That's so cool.
Yeah. I've had I've had that group since, let me see, 7, 8, 9, like 4 years, I think, almost 4 years.
And people just found out about it organically.
Yeah,
That's
I've been
awesome.
join because most of my friends are autistic themselves or have autistic children, so
Uh huh.
I just added them to my group, and then it just grew from there.
That's awesome. Um, so we do a lightning round where you can give like one word to one sentence answers. Are you
Mhm.
up for it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best advice you have received?
Mm, the best advice. Okay, the best advice would be, you are your child's best advocate.
Nice. Share a personal habit that contributes to your success.
Um, Keeping a tight schedule and, um, taking notes.
Nice. What's the next thing on your list that you want to add for your individual well being?
Mm, mm, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah,
I
you
would
can pass on
say
that one.
yeah,
What's one thing you think would improve your life if you did it or had it?
more services in my area in Tulare County, 'cause,
Okay.
we would have to go all, like, an hour away to Fresno, and it doesn't work with our schedule because we also have other kids in school. So like, I can't drive there and come back. It takes like 3 hours.
Right. Well, I mean, just from this short conversation, your kids sound like they're very fortunate to have a mom that's so consistent and diligent and advocating for them.
Mhm.
So I salute you for that. Is there anything from this discussion or something that just kind of pops in your head that you'd like to highlight for other parents that are out there listening?
Um, just find um like support groups because they have helped me a lot, and I've started one because when I was looking for support, there wasn't really anybody that could help me. Because when my son was first diagnosed, I had to do a lot of stuff on my own because I didn't know where to ask for help because there's not really any help in my small town. So just to find people, Facebook groups are really great too because they have a whole bunch of resources that are in your city. So
That's great.
yeah,
And like I said, if you want to send me that link, I'll put it in the show notes. But I'm super grateful that you took the time out of your busy schedule to share your story for the parents out there. That I love that you brought up IHSS, and I hope parents look into that.
yeah,
I feel like you did a great job of showing what sticking with um, sticking with by sticking with things, you've achieved a lot for your son, and I commend you for that. And I hope the listeners hear that
yep.
and do the same because it's so easy to get pushed off the
Yep,
track.
you gotta keep on doing it. Or
So we're going to keep on doing it, and I hope you stay a friend of the shows, and we can connect down the line and continue this journey together.
sounds good.
Thank you so much, Carrie. I hope you have a great day,
Thank you
and
so
I'll
much.
look for that link and put it in the show notes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye.